Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today, we have a special guest.
This is Luke ATME on the show today. I'm so gassed and pleased to be here.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited to talk to you because I love going back to the beginning, really, because I feel like the beginning kind of tells us almost like a roadmap of where we're going, like our little habits that we pick up as we're like young, things that we're into, they kind of follow us when we're older. So tell me a little bit about your childhood. Like, what was that like, and how did you kind of find your way into music?
So, I don't have anyone in my family working with music. So I come from like that kind of family. Everybody's a doctor, studying medicine and all that kind of like theoric and logical stuff. And I think during my childhood, my parents divorced when I was 6 years old. And that was a bit traumatic for me at the time. So I really found comfort in music. I was spending days with my mom and then days with my father. And I think music was the thing that really connected me to my family. And, it made me go through what I was feeling. So my father was bringing me like to shows of Italian singers, and my mom, she was always playing like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. So I think it all started from there, and not having like an actual concept of family together, I started to work my own way on music because, none of my parents, they loved me, of course,
Yeah.
but they didn't really want to support my choice of doing music just because, everybody's a doctor. They wanted me to have like a normal future, making money and all that kind of stuff. But I did find a job and I worked when I was 14 years old, and I was
Wow.
paying my singing lessons. I took part of a recording studio in my hometown without them knowing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it all went from there, and I was doing covers back then, just covers. I bought my first like a keyboard at 16.
Wow.
And then I was just like writing down verses and, without actually making a song, but just like ideas. And all of a sudden I had something in my mind. I was writing it down. And then when I was 17, I came to London for the first time in the summer just to do an English course. But
Nice.
it already had planned that I was coming during that time to do the test for university. So like it was something that I was planning without my family knowing, anybody knowing, because the following year I would have finished high school, and it was, I had to make a choice about university.
I see.
So I did that. I did the test, and then I came back to Italy, did my last year of high school, and I did a test as well for medicine that my family wanted me to. But then I got the answer from London that I got accepted.
All right.
So yeah, I just told all my family, I'm sorry, I'm not doing, what you want me to do. So I packed my bags, my luggages, I came to London, and I studied music for 5 years.
Wow. I love that. Like you had that, tenacity and, no fear to just go after what you want. I feel like that's what it takes, right? It's your life at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you don't do it, you're always gonna stay in the doubt. Was it gonna happen? Was it not?
Yeah.
I'm really one of the person that I could not bear living with that thing that I could have made it or not. Life is one, and I know that it's really dangerous, and I know that we gotta be responsible as well.
Yeah.
But there's no time for us to live a life that we do not want to.
Absolutely. I love that. I feel the same. It resonates for me because I feel the same way. When I was, I grew up, I'm originally from Florida. So everyone in our town and, my dad's side, he's Cuban. So th their family just, they didn't really, you know, want to do I mean, I was the only one that did the film thing. I was like, I want to leave and go to Cali and follow my dream. And everyone's like, okay,
Yeah.
but I would never change that for the world. I feel like it's the best decision I think I've ever made. So yeah, absolutely. Kudos to you for that. Um, I have a question about first of all, I love your song, Pull Me
Thank you.
Closer.
Thank you.
So good. Um, it feels great. It sounds amazing. I played it in the house. I blasted it and it was I was feeling it. So I was curious because I could, the emotion and the lyrics behind that. Can you kind of elaborate on just, the experience that, writing it and coming up with the process of making it, because it's an emotional song. It's a breakup song.
Yes. Yes, it's a breakup song, and it's probably the first time that I ever make such a vulnerable song. Uh,
Wow.
so when I put it out on Instagram I didn't really say to my fans or followers that I was releasing a song. So it was just like all of a sudden, and the only caption that I put was like, I hope you guys don't mind showing my vulnerable side,
Yeah.
because all of my songs, they're really fierce, not aggressive, but like upfront, like it's really, I always try to show a strong side of me.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Mm,
At the end of the day, even artists or everybody has feelings, everybody has connections, everybody goes through stages of their lives, whether they're rich or they're not, whether you're famous or you're not. We go all through the same thing.
yeah.
So I did this song after I broke up with my
Oh,
partner last year.
oh.
And at the beginning, it was like it was a sort of like healing for me,
Mm.
because we had a breakup, and there was really nothing that I could have done to rewind it.
I see.
So yeah, I was just closing myself into the studio, trying to write the song, and then I like kind of put a pause for 6 months, and because it was just like, so it was healing me, but I was just
Mm.
like putting all of my feelings into that, and it was just at that stage it was way too depressive, like it was way too down. So I left it for a little bit, and then after 6 months, when I was already like, I talked through with my partner, we didn't get back together, but we kept a nice relationship between us.
That's
We
good.
talked, yeah, we talked things through, and I got back into the studio with much a better feeling.
Good.
So I elaborated a lot of like the lyrics later afterwards, and the instrumentation as well, because I wanted to bring, I was at that stage, I realized already that things had to happen at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Straight afterwards, I couldn't realize it. I was just like questioning myself. I was just like pressuring myself. Like, what did I do wrong? Why is
Right.
this? But then afterwards, I realized that it had to happen. Like, we were not ready for that. And, God always puts you through things when you're ready for it. So I came back to the studio with a better feeling, with a better vibe. And I said, I still want to bring that breakup song, but I
Yeah.
want to let the listeners realize that there's nothing wrong in understanding that it's not the right time for two people to be together sometimes.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's real because I mean, I feel like that's great that you showed your vulnerable side. I feel like that makes people feel like more closer to you, right? The people that follow you, they feel more like, okay, there's some normalcy about you. Like, there's some people that they're just so perfect. You're like, there's no way this person's not going through something. But
Yes, and there comes the title, Pull Me Closer, right? I tried to pull
yeah.
people closer to me as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable and just honest. I feel like a lot of music now is missing that. A
Yes.
lot of people just, I get it. You want to the fun songs, the popular songs that play on the radio, but I feel like the also when you show that side, it actually opens up another audience. And I think it's great for people to be able to be open and honest and talk about these things, like relationships and how they shift and transform throughout time.
Music is a little bit like arts, music, or it's like socials. On socials, we always want to share the best side of our lives.
Hmm.
We don't want to show ourselves when we cry on socials. Most of the time it's like that. And music is kind of the same. Like artists usually want to give that role model, that person that is perfect. And just because you got so much responsibility of your fans or your followers, that you're like, okay, let me try to get the best out of it. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day, we all go through the same thing. So it's also fair to show people that we do have those feelings.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I have a fun question, something to kind of switch up the mood a
Yay.
little bit. If you could be managed by any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh my God. Well, I must say my of I've got three favorite artists
Oh, okay.
right now. I mean, they've always been like that, so I just gotta spit them out, all three of them, which is Rihanna,
Oh, yes. I love that.
Bruno Mars, and Lady Gaga.
Oh, perfect combination.
So I wouldn't be able to, I mean, they're all like amazing artists and they're superstars and they're just the best of the best. So I get inspired by them every day.
I love that. Oh, yeah, you would have like that's like the dream team because like they're all so very different, but they're pros in their profession, like in their own, they hold their space very well. So that's a winning team. That's a really good combination. I haven't had that one yet. That's a really good one. I like
It's
that.
it, it's a standout. It's a standout.
Definitely, definitely. So I was, I love asking artists this and there's in the music world, it's always changing. Everything's so, I don't know, every year is something different, new music. There's always somebody, a new song, new hit. How do you find yourself as an artist? Is it like pressure to stay like I guess relevant and stay like, see what's the popular thing happening now? Because when, essentially, even though, yeah, all these artists that are coming out, everyone is trying to get to that, those top 20, top 100, and you're competing against a Beyonce who's still, for God's sake, still singing out here. It's like, holy crap. Um, like I mean, how do you deal with it as an artist? What keeps you going to keep making music?
Oh, that's a really tough question, but I think the main reason is just because doing music makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, the horses when they've got like the blind thing, they just sit front, like at the front.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like I'm blinded by my dream. Like I don't
Hmm.
see anything else. I try not to think of, it's not gonna happen. There is a lot of competition, or everybody's doing this. And if you don't have a label, and if it's not cheesy enough, if it's not sometimes I try to just close myself and just do what my mind, my heart says to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's good or it's bad, like I think I've got this side of me, this emotional side of me, which always takes the lead rather than the reason, like the reason
Yeah.
part, logical part. So I think that's what really pushes me to the music every day.
Yeah. I think you kind of have to have that view, right? To like that kind of perspective of like, yeah, yeah, there's all these artists here, but you know, it's like there's no other person that's you, you're your own like there's no other duplicate copy of
That's
you.
true. No one else is,
So,
yeah, no one else is
yeah.
taking.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, you can, I mean, that's definitely enough. And I feel like that's a great thing. And the fact that you love it is, I always say, I tell people like, there's a lot of people that listen to this show and they're always wondering like, you know, how do these people keep going? I'm like, you have to love it because it's not going to be amazing every day. Um,
For sure.
and I was gonna ask you, like, what are some of the um moments that you that kind of made you question like your journey? And but how did you kind of find your way back to a place of like, no, I'm gonna keep going. I mean, if you don't mind sharing.
Not at all. It's there probably I can mention a couple of them. I had a really bad moment in 20 what was yeah, it was last year actually.
Mm.
Summer last year because I released an EP in September 2021, and that was really really good because I put a lot of focus on it, a lot of promotion. I was working with different agencies and promoting it in like in Asia, in US, in UK. I did a lot of work, and that I'm really happy for it because my main single from the EP, like it was number one on the emerging 300.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing, but something happened the year afterwards that I had a problem with Spotify. So one of the agencies that I worked with did some dirty laundry on my singles. So I had to call a lawyer, and basically my music has been shut off for like 6 months.
Holy crap.
And I think I never felt that bad before just because they took out my copyrights, and I write and I produce 100% all of my songs.
Wow.
I don't have anybody writing for me. I don't have any. Sometimes I work with other producers, but it's my songs. I write my songs. It's all part of me.
Yeah.
And I saw myself standing up front with a big name like Spotify, and I was just like a little mosquito. In, I was feeling like nothing, and at the end, I won, luckily. So
Good.
got back all of it. They realized I had to show a lot of things that me and myself. I was like, how comes I do need to prove that if I'm the owner of all these songs. I make
Right.
my music is my life, and they were trying to take out something that I've been working for 10 years. I was
Mm.
feeling like really bad and staging like, is this like, am I gonna stop? Am I really gonna make it? Because it would have made no sense to start from zero. My friends were like, my followers were like, don't worry, just like start again. And this was not possible because I've been like 10 years working my whole life out.
Wow.
And so at the end I won, but there was a moment where I really was about to give up.
Yeah.
And then also I won an award for from my country, from Italy,
Yeah.
for the best outstanding person in cultural and music. And that really pushed me. Like there was really reason for me. Like my country really showed me how much they're supporting me and that I was not alone. And yeah, that really made me go through this bad stage.
Oh, wow. That's awesome that you won an award and you got over and that's the thing. It's like you don't just, I think a lot of people and I appreciate hearing that other side to the journey, like the downs as well. Also the ups, because I think you said it earlier, we do post our best photos. We do post our wins. And I
Yes.
feel like there's something about the I think struggle that people also relate with the people, the day-to-day people that support, like their lives that they're doing. It's like um it takes a lot of tenacity and strength, such as yourself to keep going. So kudos to you and again, congrats on all the things that you've done. I was
Thank
going
you.
to ask you, I did read something about that it was kind of hard you were a little nervous I think to speak or sing in, is it Spanish? Is that what it was that you were saying in the bio? That not like to sing in like a different language for the EP? So
Uh, I do speak 5 languages.
five, sheesh.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I speak Italian, English, Portuguese, Spanish, and French.
Wow. So I was curious that like I'm sure like the for the upcoming I think that is it the upcoming EP that you're
Yes,
working on. So
yes.
that's gonna be so I wonder is it like what is there gonna be like is it like what challenges or showcasing this I guess to this kind like the music to your audience like is it are you nervous? for this new upcoming EP, or you're like excited to share like all the things that you're doing?
So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. And I started writing this EP in Spanish, basically when this happened with Spotify. So last
Okay.
year in September, when all of this happened, once again, because I told you healing, like for me going to the studio is healing.
Yeah.
So even if I was like at the time I was like with no songs, I was not like no distributor, I had nothing, but I went to the studio. I got it with a really good friend of mine in Madrid that works with Warner Music.
Nice.
So I stayed in Madrid for 3 months. And we were just like working on different songs. And of course, because I was going through that stage with the problem that I was having, I think this EP has a lot of like different sides that
Nice.
I'm so much looking forward to share. And it has downs, but it has the ups because then we got back to the studio this year and we worked on other songs.
Nice.
And it's the first time because I released songs in Spanish, but I have
Mm.
never released the whole project in Spanish.
Yeah, because that's what yeah, so it's the whole project. That's gonna be so cool. And that, that's gonna that congrats. That's gonna be exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm starting to work on it. Like the actual songs are ready. I'm
Nice.
just gonna start working on it, like visuals and videos about from January. So hopefully by April it's gonna be out.
Nice. Ooh, that's exciting.
Yes.
I was gonna this is a question I love asking people. There's no wrong answer. But I'm just curious of your answer. The three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. And if you could have or choose one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Wow. Power.
Ah, I like that.
I'll say power. I was just thinking of taking out which one I was taking out. So money, I would have taken out because money doesn't get happiness. Money
Mm,
doesn't buy me happiness. Otherwise, I would not made this choice of doing a singer.
yeah.
I could have easily done medicine and have money all the time.
Right.
Respect is very important, but once again, I'm one of those that think I prefer to show my authenticity, and if people like it, good. If they do not, they cannot. Nobody opinion can mess with my life. My life is mine, and I'm the owner of it. So at the end of my decisions, my responsibility. So I would love people to respect me and appreciate me, but at the end of the day, you cannot be liked by anybody, by
That's
everybody.
true. That's true.
So I just went for exclusion, and I will say the other option that you had. Like I think that's what makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great, I think a lot of people I hear they say respect, which is great, but I feel like you're right. I think power is something that you kind of definitely need to move anything for, whether you're trying to change something in the world. Yeah,
That's what I'm about to say. Like power, especially for my position as a musician, as an artist, I really would like one day to have the power to show people, something that they're afraid of, that there is no role model, there is no example that can really change people's lives. So
yeah,
power, I will use power for that.
definitely. It's a great answer. It's a great answer. Um, I was good. You said something earlier about you also produce, you write, you do all those things. Um, Now I'm curious when it comes to producing and, so you're very involved in the studio process. You do you like, and I'm of the process, like, and how you work. Do you like, is it like, okay, you have an idea of something, or it could be something that you're going through. Um, you write it down. You kind of already you kind of know like the direction and the feeling that you want as far as like the sounds that you particularly want in your music, and how do you want people to feel and how you want to feel it?
Yeah, so there is no like way that is always the same.
Ah,
It's
okay.
kind of different. I am 100% involved in all of the different phases of my songs. Because I did university in popular music performance, so like I was mainly studying vocals, but I had a course of songwriting, of piano, of production. So like I know a little bit of how to do all of that. So usually when
Nice.
I go to the studio, I already go with an idea because sometimes when I'm home or when I'm on a plane or when I travel, or I just put down some melodies and some verses, and then I go to the studio and I'm like, I've got these, and I think I kind of imagine it like the way that it sounds. If we can make like those drum kit and then put the organ, and then we work on the instrumentation. So most of the times we go from what I want to say, what I brought down, and then we study with the producer. We try to check what works best and what gives me that feeling.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I was gonna ask you about do you feel like there's a difference as far as like in the music world? And do you feel like where you in it like music in Italy versus in the States? Is there like is or is it little or is the music world kind of the same? I don't know. Is it like
So, music for me has no boundaries. And that's what I really like about it. Because even if people listen to different kind of genres in different countries, but at the end, it's really about the artistry.
I
I think
see.
it's really about what you're showing to the world. For example, I don't know if you're a Rihanna and you make a song that in Italy they don't listen to, but they will listen to it just because she's sending a message or something that is really that gets to them.
Mm,
So, and for me, it's kind of been the same just because, I left Italy and I live in London, but I go a lot to the States, and I always try to mixture all of
nice.
those genres into my music. And the people in Italy, they really support me, but I never kind of did a song that is what is mainstream over there.
I
That's why
see.
I was really surprised because starting from the bottom, that they show a lot of support. It was played in radios and TV in Italy, but it's a rap song that will go easy in US and UK, but they wouldn't really listen to it, but they did.
I see. I see.
So I think for me it's really important about what you're trying to say and send to the people.
Yeah, and then like it'll transcend no matter where you are.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, I'm always curious about that, like, those artists that you see like I don't know, like an Adele or Beyonce or Taylor Swift that they can just go anywhere or they can go to India and then like,
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I find that interesting that I like that answer. Like it is about the artistry. It's not really about trying to be liked by anyone. You're just being your authentic self. And
Exactly.
that should be enough for people to they'll resonate with what you're saying and
That's
feeling.
why the intention is really important, because if you start thinking about, okay, in Italy they're listening to urban kind of trap
Right.
music, and then
Yeah.
it's really more a reasonable thinking than an actual feeling, because you're
Yeah.
trying to study and see, okay, that goes over there, I should try to make something like that.
I see.
But I prefer the feeling part. I prefer the part where my gut, what is saying to me.
Yeah. No, I love that. Do you feel as an artist, do you feel like the music, now that AI is here, do you feel like the music world is changing for the better? More in favor of the artist?
Do you know? I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the music industry is really tough. That doesn't change. It's really tough from the inside.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the outside, I see a lot of like new artists that are making different things, and they're not following the trends, and they're being recognized and appreciated. So I think this is really important.
Yeah.
So it's probably getting for the better.
That's great. What do you want people to walk away with, after they listen to Pull Me Closer? Like what do you want people to feel or I don't know. What's the message that you want?
The message is to understand and trust the process. It's not really, I know that we always want to find answers, but sometimes to find the answers you need time. You need to study what's happening, you need to understand, and trust the process. And the process is not always good, 'cause sometimes is you need to go through a bad moment, and it's going to take a while for you to heal.
Yeah,
But at the end, there's always an answer and a reason, and you just gotta go with the flow, and everything's gonna get better. And that doesn't mean that things cannot happen in a better time on a better stage in the future.
I love that. I love that. Do you have anything coming up that you like to, anything announcement that you want to share with listeners?
So I am about to have my own merch starting in
Woohoo.
January.
Woohoo.
Yay, yeah, and I love visuals. I'm really like I work with fashion as well,
I love
so
it.
I love visuals and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. So mainly about merch, and I've got in collaboration with an Italian artist kind
Right.
of at the beginning of the year, and it's my first song in Italian. So
Whee!
it's like, yeah, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. Finally, finally, and the EP. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening next year.
I love that. Congratulations. And I think you have to come back on for sure. Could you give some, I don't know, advice to someone that's listening that wants to be or somehow get into this industry? What advice would that be?
So what I always keep saying myself that you can do anything. It doesn't depend on how much money you have, or if you have a label, or if you have a manager, or you can do anything. That's what I always say myself, and that's what I'll say to everybody. You will see that this is tough. You will see that things takes time. I've been working in the industry for like 10 years, and it gets better and better every year, but it takes time. Skills makes perfection, like practice makes perfection. And you just gotta, if you really want to do this, then you gotta give it time. If you're not ready to give it time and give all your life to it, then it's better to leave it. But if you're ready for it, just set your mind into it and you will make it.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank
Um,
you. I had a good time.
where can people find you on social media?
So it's I'm Luke ATME. So IMLUKEATME. That's on all socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. All of them is the same, easy as that. And I would love to see people sharing the song, doing some TikTok, or just going on Instagram and putting the song on background. So I'll be looking at each one of you doing that. I really appreciate your time.
Okay, I'm gonna hop on and try to do a TikTok. I'm gonna try to do a
Please,
TikTok.
please. I'll make sure to share it and follow you.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.